China's rapid advancements in artificial intelligence, AI, have sent shockwaves across the globe, particularly in the West, where tech giants have long dominated the industry. The release of DeepSeek's groundbreaking AI model, which outperformed even OpenAI's most sophisticated systems, has been nothing short of a seismic event. What's more astonishing is that DeepSeek, a relatively small Chinese company, achieved this feat with a fraction of the budget that US tech corporations have poured into AI development. While companies like OpenAI, backed by Microsoft, have spent hundreds of billions of dollars, DeepSeek reportedly spent just $6 million to create its R1 model. This stark contrast has left many wondering, how did a small startup from China manage to outpace Silicon Valley's biggest players? The answer lies in DeepSeek's innovative approach. Unlike OpenAI, which charges users $200 per month for its ChatGPT Pro, DeepSeek's R1 model is completely open source and free for anyone to use. Not only can you access the app without paying a dime, but you can also download the source code and run it locally on your device. No internet required. This level of accessibility is unprecedented in the AI world. It's not just about being free. DeepSeek's model is also more energy efficient, requiring significantly less computing power than its US counterparts. This makes it not only cheaper to operate, but also better for the environment. Within weeks of its launch, DeepSeek became the most downloaded app in the US, dethroning ChatGPT and sending ripples through the tech industry. The impact on US tech corporations was immediate and brutal. Stocks of major companies like NVIDIA, Dell, and Oracle plummeted, with NVIDIA alone losing $600 billion in market value in a single day, the largest one-day loss in US stock market history. Investors began questioning the wisdom of pouring trillions into US tech giants when a small Chinese startup could deliver superior results at a fraction of the cost. The situation was made worse by the fact that the US government had imposed export restrictions on China, specifically targeting advanced semiconductors needed for AI development. The idea was to stifle China's progress, but DeepSeek's success proved that cutting-edge chips aren't the only path to innovation. With brilliant researchers and a fraction of the resources, China has shown it can compete and win on the global stage. This isn't the first time the US has underestimated a rival's technological capabilities. The situation has drawn comparisons to the 1957 Sputnik moment, when the Soviet Union launched the first satellite into space, catching the US off guard. Back then, the US had underestimated the Soviet Union's technological prowess, and history seems to be repeating itself. Only this time, it's China that's delivering the wake-up call. The US has spent decades assuming its tech dominance was unshakable, but DeepSeek's rise has exposed the cracks in that assumption. The question now is whether this is just the beginning of a larger shift in global technological leadership. The US government's response to China's AI advancements has been a mix of panic and protectionism. In an effort to shield Silicon Valley from competition, the US has imposed export restrictions on advanced semiconductors, banned Chinese apps like TikTok, and even labeled Chinese electric vehicles, EVs, as a national security threat. These measures, however, have done little to slow China's progress. If anything, they've backfired. By cutting off access to cutting-edge chips, the US inadvertently pushed China to innovate with older, less advanced technology, and the results have been astounding. DeepSeek's success is a testament to China's ability to adapt and thrive under pressure. But it's not just about AI. China's technological advancements span a wide range of industries, from electric vehicles and solar panels to high-speed rail and lithium batteries. Take BYD, for example, a Chinese EV manufacturer that has been giving Tesla a run for its money. BYD's cars are not only cheaper, but also, in many cases, better quality. While Tesla's vehicles can cost 4 or 5 times as much, BYD offers affordable options that are accessible to the average consumer. The US government, however, has been quick to slap tariffs on Chinese EVs, citing national security concerns. This protectionist approach has drawn criticism, especially when it's clear that the real motive is to protect US corporate monopolies like Tesla. The irony is that while the US accuses Chinese companies of spying and data collection, it's the US tech giants that have been caught red-handed. OpenAI, for instance, openly states in its privacy policy that it collects personal data from users. Meanwhile, DeepSeek's open-source model allows users to run the software locally, reducing the risk of data collection. This double standard hasn't gone unnoticed. Critics have pointed out that the US government's accusations against China often mirror its own actions. From the NSA's global surveillance programs, exposed by whistleblower Edward Snowden, to the use of backdoors in US tech products to spy on world leaders, the US has a long history of hypocrisy when it comes to privacy and security. The US government's efforts to wage a tech war against China have been relentless. From sanctions on Chinese tech companies like Huawei to restrictions on semiconductor exports, the goal has been clear: slow down China's rate of innovation. But as DeepSeek and other Chinese companies have shown, these measures have only fueled China's determination to innovate. The Made in China 2025 initiative, launched in 2015, aimed to transform China into a global leader in high-tech industries. Despite US efforts to derail the program, China has made significant progress, becoming a world leader in areas like drones, solar panels, and electric vehicles. Even Bloomberg, a leading US financial outlet, acknowledged China's success, publishing an article titled, "Almost 10 years later, China's Made in 2025 has succeeded." What's particularly striking is the contrast between China's collaborative open-source approach and the monopolistic practices of US tech giants. Companies like OpenAI, which started as a nonprofit but is now half-owned by Microsoft, have been criticized for prioritizing profits over accessibility. DeepSeek, on the other hand, has made its technology freely available to the world, embodying the spirit of innovation for the greater good. This has infuriated US tech oligarchs, who rely on monopolistic control to maintain their dominance. The fear of competition is palpable, especially when that competition comes from a country that's supposed to be incapable of innovation. For years, Western experts have dismissed China's ability to innovate, claiming that its socialist system stifles creativity. Articles with titles like "Why China Can't Innovate" have been a recurring theme in Western media. But DeepSeek's success has turned that narrative on its head. Far from being a copycat, China has proven itself to be a trailblazer, developing cutting-edge technology with fewer resources and under immense pressure. The condescending attitude of Western experts has been exposed as not only wrong, but also deeply rooted in a biased view of China's capabilities. The implications of China's rise in the tech world are far-reaching. For one, it challenges the notion of American exceptionalism, the idea that the US is inherently superior in technology and innovation. The reality is that the US tech industry has become increasingly concentrated, with a handful of companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia dominating the market. These Magnificent Seven tech giants account for a third of the S&P 500's weight, and their influence extends globally through indices like the MSCI World Index. But as DeepSeek has shown, this dominance is not unassailable. A small startup from China has shaken the foundations of Silicon Valley, and investors are starting to take notice. The US stock market, already in what many consider a massive bubble, is particularly vulnerable. The buffet indicator, which measures the market capitalization of U.S. stocks relative to GDP, is at its highest level ever, higher than during the dot-com bubble of 2000 or the stock market crash of 1929. Even Jamie Dimon, CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, has warned that the market is inflated. The concentration of growth in a few tech giants has created a precarious situation, and DeepSeek's rise has only added to the uncertainty. If this is the beginning of the end for the US tech bubble, the consequences could be devastating. In the end, DeepSeek's success is more than just a technological breakthrough. It's a symbol of a shifting global order. The US, once the undisputed leader in innovation, is now facing serious competition from a country it underestimated for decades. Whether it's AI, electric vehicles, or solar panels, China is proving that it can not only compete with the West, but also surpass it. And as the US government scrambles to protect its tech monopolies, one thing is clear: the era of American technological hegemony is coming to an end. The question now is not whether China will continue to innovate, but how far it will go, and what that means for the rest of the world. So, what's next? Will this be the spark that forces the US to rethink its approach to innovation and competition? Or will it double down on protectionism, trying to hold on to its fading dominance? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: the world of tech will never be the same. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more deep dives like this. And hey, drop a comment below. What do you think about DeepSeek's rise? Is this the beginning of a new era in tech, or just a blip on the radar? Let's chat about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.